Hello and welcome to week 8. Week 8 is where we're going to wrap up as much as we've done over the past few weeks. I really do appreciate everyone sharing their work, and we're about to complete this project, and we're going to go on to talk about some of the things that I think you all were anticipating in the beginning, which has to do with how do people use this information, and as people interact with it, how do you capture more information in order to solve some of these really sticky problems, such as, things like ratings are a good example. How do you weight one of your items above another as being more applicable to a user's search? I do think or at least I hope that you all are beginning to see that as you reach this point, it almost doesn't matter too terribly much what your data set is about, what topic it's about. The designs all begin to look very similar. And that's on purpose. We've invented these over time to be able to handle a variety of different sort of scenarios. What really does matter, and what I hope you're still understanding, is the words that you use, how many terms that you can navigate, and how many, and what the actual action is when you navigate through your database. So if we think back to the beginning of the class, we talked about getting lost. The final part of the project, which is due on next Monday, is to put all these things together. It's still all going to be in Figma. I realize I started out asking you to just link to Figma, but no, you actually, I would like you to go ahead and share a lot of that on the screen with others, just so they don't have to go there and come back. I realize that's a little bit awkward. Let's see what we can do. Hopefully, because the ability to see things and then to also learn from other people's journeys is really a big part of the course. So that is the idea this week, is to talk about a flow, and that is starting from scratch. Let's say you don't necessarily have to start from a home page, but you're going to start from some point where you're going to offer some different things for the user to do. And we talk in the first about something like this flow diagram. So I'm using this particular see-do flow. I'd like to get those out earlier in the week, so before you actually go and do all the heavy lifting of putting those into a visual, let's just make sure that we understand a little bit about what we're trying to do. Someone sees something and they do something. In your flows, the diagrams or the wireframes you're going to build, you're going to want to have each step represent one user activity or one user action so that we can see a sequence. And all we're trying to figure out is how good is your navigation, how good is your navigation style to help someone probably see a list of things, maybe narrow down those things to something more appropriate, and then look into a detail and then back off again to go to a general. So it's sort of like looking into and then out of a record is a pretty popular flow. I think we do it all the time. If you look at some of your own browsing, you'll see that pattern being used a lot. Now that's just one example. So right now it's really open to you, but the first part of this week, and I'll try to give you some feedback as soon as I can. You might want to put a comment and mention me when you've posted it so I can make sure to get that notification. Is to just see, what are they going to do? And then I'll say, that seems pretty reasonable. Go ahead and start to wire it up. And that's the end and the deliverable for the project. There is one thing, your sitemap is also part of the project. So if you could put that as a picture or somehow just put it at the beginning of the sequence in Mural. You can put as many things as you want in Mural. It's a big, huge canvas. But if you can put that in the start, I can also, if you all have more questions, I think it's going to be on a case-by-case basis, so I'd like to use Mural. But if you're really looking for any other thing like a Blue Jeans session, I'm happy to set that up. But so far, I think we've been doing pretty well, just taking it as it goes and looking at what others are doing. So week 8, we'll finish up this project, then we'll move on to the final. Hope that explains at least where we're going, and enjoy everyone's input.